Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Zombies Love Bacon podcast, episode 33, coming at you from a now free from lockdown Melbourne here in Australia. Joined today by Shelby.
Hello, it's me, as usual.
And only Shelby. Needless to say, freedom and just life has got everyone very busy at the moment. And that is partly the reason why we missed an episode. First episode in ZLBpodcast history. There was no episode last weekend because
we were doing stuff.
It was the first day out of lockdown. I forget how many days. Someone said some ridiculous number of days that Melbourne's been in lockdown.
200 and something, yeah.
Like 260 days or something like that. We've been in lockdown. But freedom, well, partly freedom last weekend, full freedom this weekend.
We went to the drive-in.
We went to the drive-in cinema. Yes, it still exists. And when I say still exists, that drive-in's been there forever. Like we're talking back in the days where you used to pull your car up and then pull the speaker out and stick it on the pole.
I told my family, my parents, what we're doing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, me and your dad used to go to that drive-in way back when."
Yeah, it's up in Coburg. For those who haven't been to a drive-in before, because it is a bit of a unique experience. It's just a giant car park with 3 screens. This one's got. This is the one in Coburg. Which is a village brought out years and years ago. And you tune your radio to a particular station, and then you just listen to the movie in your radio. So there'll be 3 screens in each corner of the car park, but you just tune into the right radio station to watch your movie that you've paid for.
Order food via an app, and they can bring it to your car, or you can go and get food at the diner.
They got like an American diner thing. They also they have like deals where you can pay for like the carload, so you can bring a carload of people in there and pay $30 or whatever, and it's just for the car spot. Some people bring a ute and they'll put a mattress in the back it up, they lay in the back of the ute, watch it. People get lots of people in hatchbacks sitting in the back of their car, just pop the hatch, put the seats down. You know, it's a real unique experience that I don't know. I feel like these days it's kind of gone the other way. Not many people like to rough it so much anymore. Having said that, it's like it's been a bit weird last couple of years, obviously COVID and everything else, but like there used to be open air cinemas. I went to a beach cinema once, which was interesting. They had one on St Kilda Beach, which was sponsored by that ice cream company. The one
Streets?
Nah, the one with the cows and stuff on it, the green and blue.
That doesn't really know. Wait, Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah, Ben and Jerry's. It was a Ben and Jerry's thing. And then they moved it from being on the beach to like on a park next to the beach. And then there was one that was on top of, if you've ever been to St Kilda, they got like the St Kilda baths right there next to the St Kilda Pier. They had it on top of that. So you're on the roof next to the beach. It was pretty pog, not going to lie.
Yeah, I definitely want to check out more stuff like that.
I went and saw 40 Days of Summer there, which is like a great movie to go watch at the beach on a Sunday night, eating ice cream and beer.
40 Days of Summer? Isn't it called something else?
400 Days of Summer?
400 Days of Summer? I think that's right.
Yeah, the one where he meets a girl called Summer, and then he goes through.
400, definitely 400.
It's like all cut out of order, but it's like all the good bits and the bad bits of the relationship over 400 days, and at the very end he meets Autumn.
Yeah. It's basically like this whole thing about, you know, he really idealizes her and makes her out to be much more than.
Well, it's not. But the thing is, it doesn't play in order. That's the whole point of the days. Because it's like day 991, really good. Day 260, really bad. Day 280, really good. And it's like, it just goes back and forth. It just shows the ups and downs of a relationship over a long, very period. And then at the very end, at the last scene, he meets Autumn. Spoilers. But I thought that was just funny. I had a good laugh. It's actually, it's a pretty heavy.
There's more of a point to it as well.
Yeah, it's a heavy movie. But yeah.
It's about idealizing somebody who's not actually that great, even though you make them out to be, and it shows like the bad side as well, and also kind of has this whole thing about showing a woman who's kind of fits into that.
Anyway, I sat in a beanbag and ate ice cream and drank beer and enjoyed the movie. I didn't think too much about it at that point.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But they had that. There was like that's just like an inflatable screen. It's not even that big. Like it's probably half what a small cinema screen would be. And then they had one that was, I think it's run by Open Air Cinemas or whatever, and it's like a huge cinema that's out, and they set up like proper cinema chairs and stuff just out in the open. This one was down near Federation Square, and it's huge. It was awesome, and they had like some weird chef there catering it. I don't know. I've been to lots of cinemas. There's a few rooftop cinemas in the city. There's a Botanical Garden cinema There's one where you can go to the cinema at the zoo. They sometimes have like a moonlight cinema thing there. There's a rooftop cinema in Hawthorne near the university there. Actually, that's the cinema we went to see Fight Club. They have a rooftop cinema there and bar.
Yeah, I want to go to that one.
So yeah, it was cool, and this is actually a perfect segue into one of my things I wanted to talk about, because that particular cinema sent me an email saying that they're going all out for the James Bond movie that's coming out in November 8th, I think, for here in Australia. I think it's already out everywhere else in the world. It's getting pretty solid reviews, but they're like black tie cocktail event. Which sounds pretty pog, except I'm not really a formal kind of guy. I don't know if anyone's ever picked up on that, but
you're a graphic tee and jeans person.
Well, when I moved to Melbourne, I was a graphic tee and jacket, like a suit jacket kind of guy.
I mean, that explains it.
Like Zuckerberg.
You moved to Melbourne back in the day, and that was kind of.
What do you mean?
Like, are you saying like probably like I'm gonna guess probably about like 2009 to 2011?
I moved to Melbourne in 2006.
Okay, see now.
And I would have like a Japanese manga and styled graphic tee with a blue pinstripe jacket over the top.
That was just like the style at the time. That was like you would.
I also had like semi-long hair that was styled with hair gel.
And you also had frosted tips at some point.
No, that was high school, and we don't need to talk about.
I said at some point.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about Bond, and.
Right.
We all I don't know if it's been spelled out, but let me spell it out for you. I'm a big James Bond fan, and I mean, and this don't everyone's sitting down. I hope everyone's sitting down for this, but I read the books. Like,
I didn't know you could read.
They're the only books I've read. James Bond books. My favorite one is You Only Live Twice. Fucking spectacular book that turned into a pretty damn good movie that inspired Austin Powers. That also inspired the classic Simpsons episode, You Only Move Twice, with Hank Scorpio and the hammocks and plus sauce, whatever the hell it's called. Anyway, James Bond's great. My pathway into James Bond was always, I remember I played the Nintendo 64 game, and in the instruction manual, and it's like, there's so many people that are hearing this and they're going, yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. In the instruction manual, it's got actual pictures from the movie. So Pierce Brosnan doing the classic pose with his PPK and stuff like that. And I always thought, wow, they like got actual people to like play James Bond for this booklet to put photos in it. That's crazy. And I remember my mother going, no, James Bond's a movie. And I'm like, huh? What? When's James Bond a movie? I was a kid, obviously. And it was around about the time that Tomorrow Never Dies came out. And I went and saw Tomorrow Never Dies in the cinema. And I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is nothing like the GoldenEye game, though. And then then it hit. Like, no, this is Bond movie number 21. You've got 20 others to go watch. And then I went to my local Video Easy, where they had 10 weeklies for $10. And I went and got 10 James Bond movies, because they're all weeklies at that point. And went and learned all about James Bond. And watched it all. What I would say, and something that I noticed pretty early on, is in the books, it's brutal. Like, it is brutal. Like, particularly in You Only Live Twice, he gets fucking lit up on a train and left for dead, bleeding out. And then they find out it's all staged and, he was just doing it to go deep cover, whatever. The original 20-odd movies, right up to Die Another Day. Yeah, Die Another Day, the one with Madonna, the worst possible James Bond movie ever. They're all weak, is what I want to say. You never see him bleed. If he gets shot, anyone who gets shot, they put their hand over the bullet wound and then fall to the ground. They go, ah! But they never bleed or anything like that, so it's kind of weak. So it's kind of whatever. It's a good way to maintain your PG-13 rating and get many people to watch your movies. And then Daniel Craig came along, and they stuck close to the books, and they did Casino Royale, which was a spin-off movie in the original listing. Like, it was made as a midday movie and kind of wasn't considered canon. So when they went back to that book and turned it into Casino Royale, the movie with Daniel Craig, everyone lost their goddamn minds because they're like, Bond's not blonde, fuck off. But anyone who's seen the movie knows that Daniel Craig is James Bond. He does it spectacularly, and the action and the grittiness and everything else is fantastic. Anyway, so Daniel Craig, there was a lot of talk in the last 4 years now that how Daniel Craig's not going to be the next Bond, and then they sort of roped him in for one more, and that was to be No Time to Die. No Time to Die was a movie that was very heavily ramped up, promoted, ready to go. They even got what's her name to do the music. Billie Eilish did the song for it. She released her song with the upcoming movie. Now, this is where the interesting bit and the relevant bit comes. No Time to Die was pinned in, ready to go for a release in November 2019.
It's a bit late.
It got close to November 2019, and they're like, we need a couple more months just to get things right. So they postponed it to the infamous February 2020. By the time we got to February 2020, COVID gave the movie industry a big fuck you, and then they proceeded to delay it in 6-month increments to the point where we're now ending of 2021 and they still haven't brought this fucking movie out. In that time, MGM's been sold. It's ridiculous. So someone for like me who's a Bond fan who's been like hanging out for the end of this, it's been nearly 2 years where they've been telling us that we're getting this new James Bond movie. And honestly, like, particularly if you lived here in Melbourne, the first time we've had a chance to go to the actual movies, apart from like 2 months that we got over Christmas last year where things were okay, not great, not bad, just okay. But otherwise, couldn't go to the cinema. Like, it wasn't an option. And only a week ago did they say, hey, you can go 5Ks from your house, keep your masks on, don't go indoors sort of stuff. And we went to the drive-in. And then on Friday, they said, great, there's a lot of people vaccinated now, you guys can go outside. And we went to the movies as soon as we could, basically. Almost immediately as we could. But yeah, some movies have absolutely been destroyed. And as much as I think of a lot of movies like Marvel movies, we went and saw Shang-Chi, The Ten Rings at Drive-In, which came out, months ago now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the first opportunity we could see it.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad movie, the James Gunn version, fucking great movie. We watched it on YouTube before we could watch it at the cinema because of lockdowns. But yeah, in terms of like what movie's been hurt the most, James Bond. 2 years is a long time to keep a hype train. That means that the theme song by Billie Eilish is 2 years old now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She did the soundtrack.
Yes.
Oh, man. And I heard about that like 2 years ago.
Like 2 years ago, but now no one gives a shit. In fact, Billie Eilish looks like a completely different person now. She's really gone through a transformation.
Every time she releases a new album, she changes her look dramatically.
Yeah, well, I mean, making an album does stuff to you. It's the same.
It's the same thing with like Taylor Swift. Every different album is a different era, and like her really dedicated fans will notice like any minute change she makes to her makeup and nails and hair.
Yeah,
and like she's making a new album. She's doing it, guys. And like put all this evidence. It's kind of wild.
I can say that like going back in the day when I used to make short films and do stuff, which is hard. It was a lot harder back then than it is now, right? But like when you're in production. That's it. Like the rest of the world doesn't exist. You work in production and shit happens and it kind of breaks you a little bit. And same thing goes for like making an album. There's a great doco that's out. It's a kind of a doco, but it's kind of like a highlight thing. But Regurgitator, Australian band, they did an experiment, an arts installation, if you like, where they recorded one of their albums in a glass bubble in Federation Square. And when I say recorded, it was glass in the sense that they could see everything that was going on, hear everything that was going on, except for the toilet. That was like, there was a porta potty at the back, but there was no hiding from the general public. And there was even an intercom where the general public could come up and talk to them. And then it was also streamed on pay TV 24/7 live. And they did their entire album like that. And it messed them up. Like they have a slow decline of, this is great. This is so great. So, inspiring to fuck this. We can't, there's no off button. So we're burnt out. And then there was a whole thing where a drunk guy climbed into the box with them. And it was just in the middle of Federation Square. And, the Federation Square events just kept on happening around this glass bubble. But yeah, if you look it up, Band in the Bubble, there's a short doco out of it. They left the drunk guy climbing in. They left that out of the doco. So,
I remember hearing about this bubble thing. You reminded me of its existence.
I have it on DVD. It was so fascinating to watch. It's definitely something I would do, like if given the opportunity. I'm sure, Shelby, you would absolutely not do that.
Get in a bubble?
Just like stay in a bubble for 30 days in Fed Square.
Yeah, I don't even like people looking at me on a normal day. You look at me for like 1 second too long. I'm like, stop looking at me. What the fuck?
30 days is a long time. I think that's where they didn't
30
figure it out.
minutes is a long time.
I mean, I would do it because I'm crazy. But we could do the ZLB podcast every day from the bubble.
Well, I did see people who were doing like podcast recordings in public during COVID, but in bubbles, like glass bubbles.
I know Rooster Teeth signed up a very popular podcast. I believe it's like podcast but outside, where they just set up a trestle table out in the street and start doing a podcast, and then talk to people as they just walk past.
Yeah, that's good too. You have to like really have good audio and stuff for that.
Oh yeah, you could. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, of course they would. They're rich, so.
I mean, you assume, but sure. Apparently one of the most popular things to do during the pandemic has been to start a podcast. So, guess I'm just a generic white guy.
Just a generic guy with a generic podcast talking about nothing. I wonder how many of these other podcast people have started, how many episodes they got to, but also what their content was. Was it just random talking like we do, or was there actually a point to it? I bet most of it was random talking like we do, but most of them probably bombed out very quickly.
There's a lot of like I don't want to shit on other podcasts. Like there's an audience for everything. But look, you guys know who you are. But there's definitely a lot of people that are like two white guys and a girl talking about world issues every week. And it's like, yeah, okay. From your Brunswick apartment with my craft beers.
Ah, yes. I feel like that.
Two bearded men and a hair bun coming at you weekly, talking about frisbee. Yeah. I don't know.
You can start a podcast about anything.
There was a lot of a peak cryptocurrency. There was a lot of cryptocurrency podcasts. I wonder how many of them just changed their cryptocurrency podcast from being, wow, we're in the money, can't believe, what are you going to spend your money on first, to help me.
You guys have like a losses of like 400,000.
Guys, this will be my last day on the podcast. I'm moving in with my mother again.
I declare bankruptcy.
I declare bankruptcy. Yeah, I've been a
Shiba coin seems to be doing really good.
The what coin? You mean
Shiba?
Shinanibu? Haven't you heard what the latest cryptocurrency?
No, what's the latest? Give me the goss. You're now.
No, I reckon you could guess it. I reckon you could guess it. No. What's the latest hot cryptocurrency? And here's your only hint. It's hot everything at the moment. What is something that is hot with everything at the moment? In everything.
I don't know.
They have an event in Sydney at the moment.
Squid Game.
Yep.
Squid coins.
Squid coin is the number one cryptocurrency kicking around at the moment.
Why?
They even did, I think they called it Octopus Games, but they did a Squid Game thing in NoPixel.
Yeah, they definitely done that, and I've seen like people doing it on Roblox is a big thing. There's lots
Roblox is huge.
Yeah, Roblox is down at the moment. Did you know that?
Probably too many squids.
It's been down for like 36 hours.
Too many squids. What are the kids doing? Oh my god, they're probably playing GTA.
Probably. This article says Roblox down. New update says it's not Chipotle's fault. So at least we know it's not Chipotle's
Fuck Chipotle.
fault.
I don't know.
The outage is widespread and mysterious, and it's not just the game is down. Even Roblox.com is down.
Wow. Someone lost Squid Game and DDoSed it.
Yeah, so it does say Roblox maintenance. And players were blaming it on the fact that too many people were flooding the game to try and take advantage of digital Chipotle, which had opened inside Roblox and was giving out free burritos in real life.
Oh my gosh.
The first 30,000 players who got to the in-game Chipotle would get a free burrito voucher, and there were other offers. Like
no, that would definitely crash
Chipotle
it.
themed Roblox. That would free food 100% would crash it.
That would definitely crash it. What the fuck? It's wild. We went through a process of, obviously I did a Roblox stream, and I always everything I stream I always sort of trying to get the lay of the land beforehand. And one of the things that I ran into was these articles talking about game devs and stuff like that who spent so much time on like creating original IPs and stuff like that, never ever hitting pay dirt, and then switching it up and just becoming Roblox devs and just cashing in.
Yes, it's a huge platform.
It's a huge platform.
Huge.
When did that happen? How old's Roblox? It's old.
I didn't even really know for a long time that you could actually like code your own things.
I always thought Roblox was like poor man's Minecraft.
3D Habbo Hotel is kind of what I thought it was.
Poor man's
But now
Minecraft.
that I've been like looking at Roblox and like I saw videos come up on YouTube of just like I recreated Rust in Roblox, and it's like like exact copy of the game
Yeah,
Rust, but
there is, and that's just been
and
for a
that's kind of
while.
what. But like I didn't. That's how I found out that Roblox had more to it. I
I
was
mean,
like,
I
what the
played
fuck,
Battlefield in Roblox, and I gotta say, it was better than Battlefield 2042,
right?
which is a yikes, UEA.
Mm,
Right? This kid's making better games in Roblox than you're making your fucking $1 billion studio.
yeah.
Anyway,
I
yeah, it's
like how
kind
I
of wild.
had that. I had Roblox's down written on my topic list before you even brought up Roblox.
It's just
I like that. That was good.
it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. It's weird, and I think, I don't want to. Like, I'm a PlayStation fanboy, but I gotta say, like, Dreams was meant to be PlayStation's Roblox, and it's not.
It's not interconnected enough.
It's not even that. It's just too hard.
This is true. Some of the
Um,
stuff people make is wild, but like it's died already. It's dead.
well, they added VR support. You can make Dreams VR games.
Oh, that's cool. I do like that.
But yeah, it's a big. It's
Mm.
yeah, it's not. Oh, like and yeah, there's so many hits and misses lately. Speaking of giant ass fucking misses, what the fuck is Facebook?
Oh, yeah. So the parent company is now called Meta. But
Hang
I
on,
just
are they
want
rebranding Facebook to Meta?
no, Facebook itself is going to be Facebook, but the parent company, which was called Facebook Inc., is now Meta.
But also, they're apparently rebranding Oculus.
Not that I've heard, but
If you
Oculus
have
Quest no
VR
longer requires a Facebook account,
in the VR
which
chat,
is
they've got a new. They're apparently talking about getting rid of Oculus altogether. They got a whole new headset coming that's better than the Rift 2.
I did see that.
And yeah, but this,
Like, let's go back to that important part of Oculus Quest no longer requires a Facebook account. It's been a huge pain point of using an Oculus Quest since Facebook
if you think for a second
dug the
that it
claws
doesn't
into it.
need a Facebook login, you're probably right. You think it's going to need a Meta login? Probably 100% yes.
Probably, yeah.
You
If
think
not
they're going to
now,
data
then
mine that
soon.
shit and put it into the same place that all your Facebook information ended up? 100%.
Do we think that eventually your headset is going to go inside your ear and get into your brain and put a chip in your brain? Probably.
I mean, Elon's
Uh,
working on that, but that's
Yeah.
a separate story. But why would you take one of the biggest brands in the world? Facebook is the biggest brand, face it or not. All right, even if you're an anti-Facebooker, it just means you're not old enough. All right, because it's went from being the hip thing that teens to 20s were using to talk to their friends to what my parents used to spy on me. And now I don't know. It's just Meta. Why would you confuse the branding? Because now everyone's
Yeah.
like, "What's Facebook? What's Meta? What's the
I love that
MetaVerse?"
they're trying to separate themselves from Facebook's obvious issues.
But why? But like, they're not. It's not. It's obvious.
You know the whole thing about like Zuckerberg is under investigation again.
Yeah,
try
but Meta is the same thing.
Yeah,
So
but
like, what are they going to do? They're gonna relaunch a new social platform called Meta, and it's like it's
I don't-
definitely not Facebook. But use
They're
your
not
Facebook login.
They're not going to, but
It's honestly it's a misstep. It's a huge misstep. But Facebook does nothing but misstep now. So there's nothing that Facebook has done in the last, I'm going to say, like 10 years where everyone's gone, "Huh, I like that." Not a single thing. Think about it. There's not a single thing where you go, "Facebook, that's cool." Nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's a bit like, oh, Amazon did that.
Are they
Maybe.
changing Facebook gaming to metagaming? Because that's going to be confusing, particularly for the people RPing on the.
Oh, you're right. It probably will be.
Oh my god! It's just they have no clear direction. It's always all over the place. But unfortunately, when you have that many people / robots / bots / everything working against you, good luck to them. Really.
I think he's trying to make like Ready Player One in real life.
But look, they definitely brought Oculus to have social spaces in VR.
Yes.
Which back then was kind of like, nah, but then we went through a pandemic when people couldn't go in the office, and all of a sudden, holy shit, social spaces in VR, if they had that shit ready a couple years ago, they probably would have had Ready Player One by now, to be honest.
Probably. It's
But
definitely.
now we're getting to the end of the pandemic, or at least we're getting to a vaccinated state of the pandemic, and they're like, MetaVerse, and everyone's like, no, I want to see people.
Look, I think the most exciting part is that they announced was San Andreas VR.
Sure.
Did you not hear about that?
I did. I wouldn't say that's the most exciting thing.
No, yes it is. I want to fucking play GTA San Andreas in VR. I've been saying it, like we talk about GTA a lot. I've been saying it a lot. I would love GTA RP in VR. Let's
I mean,
fucking go.
you can play GTA 5 in VR. There's mods for it.
Yeah, but not mods. I want like fully immersed, proper
There's
experience.
a mod
quests.
where you can play the entirety of Zelda Ocarina of Time in VR, and there's a guy who's done it. Like the entire playthrough is up on YouTube. It looks nauseating. But look, there's a couple more things I want to say about this meta thing, particularly with the VR stuff. There's a lot of people that are angry about this.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
And the VR community hates Facebook.
Well, they hate it because Facebook's coming out like, look at this, look what we've created, look at this amazing VR space, and the VR community's like, fuck off, we've been working on this for years.
Yeah, because the VR community was seen as this fringe hobby that really is like open source.
Facebook obviously saw the marketability to it. They've taken it, they've put a bow on it, said, I made this, all right? And the VR community is like, no, you fucking didn't. But to mom and pa and the people that believe everything they see on Facebook, absolutely they're going to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, Facebook made VR, look at that, wild. it's wild. But my favorite part of all this is they obviously they did their Facebook showcase thing at whatever fucking event it was, and they did the all right. And I don't know if people have seen the cringe-topia of fucking Facebook things where he goes through all these avatars and then he ends up selecting boring himself as an avatar, and then he goes and he plays cards in space with a robot. And then he does this whole thing as, wow, look at us, enter the metaverse. And then someone's hard cut that to he rocks up in VR chat and he's surrounded by Gunga knuckles clicking their tongues. Go and I'm like, yep, that's exactly what it's going to be. Because it's not going to be three chilled guys and a robot playing cards in space. It's going to be, my queen, do you know the way? My queen.
It's just, it's going to be straight memes.
Well, they don't just lean into it is what I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, you make a VR that is like Party Town, like fucking Ready Player One. And go, hey, you guys can do anything in this whole thing. And then fucking make Microsoft Teams VR, where you sit in a boring thing and, socialize or whatever. Anyway, I can't wait for the Social Network 2 movie when that comes out. We see the real truth behind it all.
Is that an actual thing? Or are you
No,
just joking?
I'm just joking.
Okay. I've never even seen the first one, to be honest.
Have you not? It's
No.
actually really good.
All I know is that girl from the Disney Channel gives Zuckerberg a blowjob.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's the only
Well,
part.
that's
And
amazing. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, that's
the
definitely
only
the
part
highlight of the
I know.
movie.
Okay.
It's actually very good, and it does, as much as a lot of people are like, wow, they really missed the point with it. It's not, they didn't miss the point. They dramatized it, the hell out of it. But you can tell, like, outside of the fact that most of it's probably real, it's actually a really good tech movie to watch, because particularly how quickly things go up and down and out of control, it is very real in that sense. And there's been plenty of companies that have done the same thing.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyway, it's speaking of companies doing strange things, have you heard about Shaggy going Ultra Instinct?
What? That's not a topic I had on my list.
So this is an old meme, right? A lot of people, the guys from NetherRealm who make Mortal Kombat, were doing they basically were putting out a call of, hey, who would you like to see in a Mortal Kombat game? Because obviously they do the whatever the DC, what are they called? The DC games with like Batman and all those guys, right? And then people said, we want Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, but we want him Ultra Instinct like Goku. And that was like a meme that went around, and people were like, everyone had a good laugh, even NetherRealm sort of had a laugh at it or anything else. Anyway, so apparently they're doing it now, which is wild, because this leak came out, and I think everyone loves this leak so much that they're just been digging at it. Like, they are pouring at this leak. They want to know more. Is this going to be a good idea? Probably not, but here we have it. NetherRealm Studios, creators from the fighting games Mortal Kombat, as well as the DC ones, under the Warner Brother Games thing, are making a multiverse. Basically, right. Warner Brothers, Smash Brothers. So in the much the way that everyone loved the new Space Jam movie with so many cameos, they didn't, by the way, they are making a fighting game with so many cameos.
Isn't that just, I was going to say, is it just Smash Brothers?
Yeah, it's Smash Brothers. But in what Smash Brothers can you get Batman versus Shaggy Steve versus Gandalf versus Rick Sanchez versus Bugs Bunny?
I thought you were gonna say Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
All of them.
All
Like
of them.
everything under Warner Brothers in the one thing. It's Gandalf of Cryat Royale. So Gandalf the Grey, and there's been screenshots like of the character select screens and stuff like that. This is a real thing. It's happening. In the same way that Nicktoons are making their own Nickelodeon Smash Brothers.
I'm excited for that. It looks really good.
Look, this has all been done before.
I wanna play being Nigel Thornberry.
PlayStation did it as well. And the PlayStation version was the first to do cross-platform with the PS Vita to the PS3. It just doesn't work. Like, will it be a great meme? Yes. Will it get lots of hype because of the memes? Yes. Will it be a great game?
Yes.
Maybe?
I can be Nigel Thornberry. It's a great game already.
You're talking about the Nickelodeon one. I'm talking about the Warner Brothers one.
Yeah, the Warner Brothers. Okay, that's still debatable.
As in whether or not it'll be a good game.
Yes.
I want to say that these guys make great fighters. As Mortal Kombat is whatever Mortal Kombat is, whether or not you're a fan of the old school stuff or you like the new stuff with the hip hop music and the snapping of bones and the slow motion 3D X-ray vision, whatever the hell. Like all that stuff aside, like they make the Injustice games, which is the DC games. I could just remember the name. They are a spectacular DC game. Like they have a full story and everything to it. It's all complete, like it's completely narrative to it all. So many characters and very, very, very just sexy looking game. And really, like it's hugely underrated. Because everyone goes, Injustice, that's that game when the sweaty nerds get on the internet and complain about losing B-frames. No. You can play it as a casual and there's quite a good story to it. Like it's marketed as one thing, but it's good for both things. So, but
you know what I miss is a fighting game.
What?
The Simpsons wrestling game. That was good.
That wasn't good.
It was. I just like Bumblebee was so overpowered, but I did like being having like the board with the.
So okay, let's stop. Let's stop right there. Your best fighting game is Simpsons wrestling. Is that what you're saying?
Best. I said I loved it.
What else do you love? What other game do you love more? That's a fighting game.
I don't really love a lot of fighting games.
So it is the best game.
Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance.
Deadly Alliance?
Yeah.
The worst Mortal Kombat game.
I think I'm talking about the right one. Let me just Google.
No, you are definitely talking about the worst Mortal Kombat game.
Deadly Alliance. What's wrong with it?
Everything.
Oh yeah, it was Deadly Alliance. I love Deadly Alliance. Had a good soundtrack. I really liked spending too many hours going through and unlocking the coffins with special free stuff and characters and special features, and watching Cooking with Scorpion, which is a great short, which is very good.
Mortal Kombat's gone through a very weird time in its life. Movie was good though. I quite liked it. A lot of people didn't, but
I liked the movie. It was very good.
It was yeah, I liked it a lot. But yeah, like I said, a lot of people didn't. But it's whatever. I think that I don't think they've greenlit a sequel, but I think we'll get a sequel just based on it went pretty well. Again, came out in the middle of pandemic, so good.
And we got to go with the special
we did go to
review screening, and they gave us drinks. I'm cool with it. Let's go.
Well, you can't base, as much as they'd like you to, they can't base the entire movie experience on how hammered you got.
Why not?
That's the trick. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of hugely popular games, did you know that Nintendo have a sequel to Pokemon Go?
I did not.
Are you familiar with Niantic and what they have done done in the past / doing now?
Yeah, of course.
So they did, I forget what they called the ARG, which was their bread and butter up until the point that they became Pokemon Go. I can't remember what it was called now. But it was basically what they had, and then what they turned it into was Pokemon Go. Like you go to this point, checkpoint, there was catch certain areas. Remember what it was called? I can't remember what it was called.
They had, so these are their products. They had Field Trip, they had Ingress and Ingress Prime.
Okay, so Ingress is the one where people would literally travel states. Like they'll be like, there's a big takeover event happening in Melbourne this weekend. People would come to Melbourne and like try and take all these things for their factions in Niantic. In
Sounds
Ingress.
like New World, but in real life.
Well, in Ingress, in the same way that like people take different towers for the different factions in Pokemon Go. It's exactly the same game, right? Anyway, they brought out a game recently from Nintendo. Pikmin is now in Go form.
Pikmin Bloom?
Yes, Pikmin Bloom.
I want to get that. I love Pikmin.
Basically, it's taken away all the Pokemon elements, but you pick Pikmin and then you take them for walks and you help them grow up and grow your Pikmin army, just like the game. Which is actually actually looks really cool. So I downloaded it. I haven't gone for a walk yet, but it looks pretty cool. But it's clear that Nintendo haven't stopped branching into that mobile market. Now we know that the Pokemon MOBA is now available on mobile phones as well, so people can play that, download that, do all that sort of stuff. Apparently, Fire Emblem Heroes is still banking big time on mobile.
They have Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, which is still doing really well.
Yeah, like these are games that I've played and gone, I'm done, and uninstalled it. But apparently, I was the only one. They still have millions of people.
Well,
Mobile market is huge.
Speaking of games that are doing well still, or have things happening still, you hear that Skyrim's getting an update, or has an update.
You mean they got their Super Edition or whatever coming out.
They have more quests now and everything.
Yeah, with their Super Edition.
Yeah, so the quests tie back into like Morrowind and Oblivion, but the segue off of that, because there's this guy on TikTok who does Skyrim IRL videos.
Yeah.
And like they're pretty good, and it's just like he does like the body language of the NPCs, and like he basically looks like he's glitching in real life. And like I always loved his videos. Turns out the guy's in jail. So
what?
He killed his wife and her friend.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this guy who got really famous doing Skyrim videos.
What the fuck?
I mean, like massively famous, and it's I just found that out today. I was pretty shocked. This guy was like,
just don't do Skyrim. What people see so many Skyrim videos.
Yeah,
it's like a trend really now. And then he started it and he's gone to jail.
Yeah, he's gone away probably for life.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So he was like getting promoted by I think Bethesda at one point or something like that.
Yikes!
Like, it was a big deal. His last video was only uploaded like 6 days ago or something.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So that's Skyrim news in a nutshell. I guess there's an update and this guy killed some people.
Why did you think that was a good topic to bring up?
No, well, it's just like I was going to talk about like TikTok in general, because there's like a lot of true crime stuff on TikTok at the moment as well, especially with like the being like it's like a social media thing, but also like there. You
realize that it's a reflection of yourself, right?
That because you think the algorithm's showing me all that stuff.
TikTok is a reflection. The algorithm is so good on TikTok, it absolutely just shows you your personality.
Are you saying I'm like a murderer or something?
I'm saying you're a detective.
I'm not. Well, I wouldn't say I'm a detective,
but you are on social media.
There's a lot of armchair detective stuff going on TikTok.
Is there arms on your chair?
Yes, actually. Why did I look to check? Like the Gabby Petito case is all over there too. Which is
I only say that because I have zero True Detective stuff on my.
You don't see it? That's so strange.
I have cosplayers, big boobs, a bit of like gaming news, a lot of New World stuff.
There's a lot of crossover between the cosplay and big boobs section, isn't there?
Sometimes it's just big boobs. I'm not gonna lie.
See, your algorithm knows you like thirst traps.
Basically, yeah.
See, I don't even get as many big boobs lately, so I don't know.
I don't understand the algorithm. I've given up trying to understand the algorithm because there is particular people, some who are, let's say, Z grade celebrities, who I just fucking can't stand. Like they just grind my gears, and every time I click the do not like thing, and they just appear again. Like I'm telling the algorithm I don't like it, and then the algorithm's like, "Nah, you like it. Yeah, you do."
Like, sure, you don't like it. We know you like it. You're lying to yourself. Yeah, I get that a lot. Like, I don't like interacting with like there's some because obviously I'm in like mental health TikTok because like I'm a person who's a bit nuts. Whatever. I'd like to educate myself and interact and whatever. But then I've also been getting a lot of videos about like that basically seem like people are faking stuff for attention.
Oh, those I hate them.
I'm not interested in like this, or TikTok goes out.
What was the TikTok
goes
thing?
Out of its way to show me content about people being abused, and I'm like, I don't want to see that because like I don't want to have bad time on TikTok.
What was the thing with?
I'm not interested.
What was
and it shows it to me.
What was the thing with the TikTok thing where the people someone like surprised my boyfriend at uni or whatever?
Oh, the couch guy.
I knew you'd know.
That's his name. He's couch guy.
Yeah, and then I just saw 7 billion of people reacting or recreating that. I'm like, I couldn't be less interested in whatever the fuck this thing is.
So basically, it was an awkward video of a girl coming to her boyfriend's college, and she doesn't go there, of course, but she's going to his room and like surprising him. But like he's sitting next to another girl on the couch, and there's like some body like it What's the word? When
I saw the video and it just looked like a guy who was like, "Oh, hi," and got up off the
yeah,
couch.
I mean, it looked a bit awkward. He has that girl's hair tie on his wrist, which generally
Oh my
means you're
god!
fucking.
Armchair detective over here is trying to
No,
figure out if she's got a fucking hair tie on her wrist.
But that's the thing, though. If somebody's wearing a girl's hair tie on their wrist, like a guy
How many
is
times
wearing
did you
a hair
watch the
tie.
video to figure out that?
No, I saw it the first time. I'm not silly.
Oh, yeah, fucking all right. So you're Sherlock Holmes of TikTok.
No, I understand body language and like I look at these things, but like I just thought that the video was a bit weird because I kept seeing it come up, so I just watched the video and I'm like, oh, that guy is definitely up to something. Yeah, no, but like I saw that a lot too, but I started putting not interested on them, but TikTok kept showing it.
They keep showing it. They don't give a shit about the not interested thing. If anything, I think that makes them go, oh, if we keep showing them, they'll have to watch the video longer to click the not interested.
It's like a lot of people I had to just straight up block because I didn't want to see
Well,
the content anymore.
Jolly said she had to delete it, TikTok, because it showed her nothing but the stuff that she hates.
Which was like people going
escalators.
through massive weight loss.
No, it was escalators.
Oh,
she has a phobia of escalators.
right.
And
but it was
so all it showed her was people like getting hurt on escalators, over and over again.
Not only that, but it was also showing her videos of people who
that was before
weight, they had like loose skin and stuff, and she's I remember her yelling about that.
Yeah, that was before, but this is like a verticophobia, and it's like showing people dying on escalators over and over again. It's like a torture thing.
Yeah, I don't know why TikTok is definitely trying to like trigger me to have a mental breakdown. I think sometimes.
I think it's just trying to trigger me to look at more big boobs.
Yeah,
I think the algorithm is like, this guy likes video game stuff, and everyone else who likes video game stuff like big boobs. So they just put the two together. You like a New World video here, you get 17 big boob videos afterwards.
What I'm getting a lot, and like I thought this before I got TikTok, and I knew that.
Before you get it, I just want to be clear that it's not a you're a guy thing. I'm pretty sure girls who like video games also go in the same category. They like big boobs. Like big boobs is a safe category for everybody.
I got some titties.
So from a TikTok point of view, they're like, this person likes video games, and everyone loves boobs. So
I see a lot of lesbian thirst traps. It's okay.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, I get. So there's like this whole thing about people being shown videos about like specific mental illnesses, and like it keeps repeating that like one, and everyone's being like, is the algorithm diagnosing me? And like they end up finding out that they are. I don't know if it's a good thing, to be honest. So like, people are getting flooded with this content to a point. Like, are they just thinking that these things apply to them? The
other thing, and I blame you completely, is I get a lot of VTubers, like so many VTubers. But, and I don't know what it is, but there's a particular trend that I see lately, and it actually tickles me really well. And it's a VTuber thing, and they set themselves up in McDonald's, and they play the role of apologizing to Karen, basically.
I've not seen that.
So it's like a VTuber, and you'll be like, I'm sorry, but the ice cream machine's broken. Please don't hit me. I'll give you something else.
I have not seen that. I don't know what side of VTuber TikTok you're on, but I've never.
I'm in a weird place. I don't know what the tells you.
Yeah.
But I've seen like 50 of these videos, and it's like probably 4 or 5 different VTubers doing it, and I find it hilarious every time because the reaction's always the same.
I would say my TikTok is like lesbian thirst traps, which is good.
Have you seen the Lorax TikTok?
Hold on, I'm not finished. Lesbian thirst traps, weird mental health videos, uncomfortable like assault videos, like people talking about being assaulted, which is horrific to have on your feed repeatedly. Armchair detective shit, and also then people playing with miniature food, like they buy like mini brands foods and things like that, and they have like these tiny little plastic bottles, like look at this little miniature like Coke bottle, look, it's so cute. And then that's what my feed looks like.
Have you seen the video of the guy who hacked someone's Netflix account and watches the Lorax on repeat?
No, I have not.
And then also the woman who's like, someone hacked my Netflix account and won't stop watching the Lorax.
Oh, and they're like right next to each other on the feed as well.
Yes!
Yeah. TikTok's good at that. It puts like related videos right next to each other sometimes, like they're filmed in the same room. It's kind of weird.
It's weird, and yeah, I think that's part of that's apparently there's some kind of location thing that goes with the whole the whole algorithm, and like to the point where I was watching it and I'm like, huh, look at this video. I thought it was some stupid video where some guys walk along with a pizza and then they go, hey, you want a slice, to a stranger? And then the stranger takes a slice. And everyone, it's just like the most boringest whatever TikTok. But then I showed Shelby, I'm like, huh, hey,
And
Shelby.
I had just seen it on my feed as well.
And I'm like, look at this. And you're like, yeah, I've seen it. I'm like, yeah, but it's out the front of our house. And they're like, huh.
Yeah.
It's quite literally, if you're not looking at the TikTok and look at the buildings around it, it's just out the front of our house, like right there, which is kind of scary. Because, yeah, particularly things that I put on TikTok, I don't necessarily want people that I know in my vicinity.
Well, here's the thing. There's definitely some vicinity stuff that goes on, because my mother, when I was living back at home, she goes, I think I just found Adam on TikTok. And I'm like, all right. So I'm just looking at it, and she brings it up, and it's a video of you screaming while eating butter. But it's not. But that was only in the vicinity, I think,
Way to
because I was
dox me.
watching.
Jesus.
I was watching your TikToks, so I think it then showed it to my vicinity, which is weird. So my mother, like one of my mother's first introductions to you, is you screaming and eating butter.
Do you think it's that, or do you think is that your mother knows your TikTok?
No, she doesn't follow me.
So she hasn't found your TikTok?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
100%. So she found my TikTok and not yours?
Yes.
How?
I don't know. I think it was a vicinity algorithm, because my phone is near yours.
You're more in the vicinity.
My TikToks are probably shown up as well. Maybe she's pretending she hasn't seen it, but that I just want to point out, she was not following you. She was not following me, but she saw you screaming and eating butter.
That wasn't me.
That was definitely
That wasn't me.
you.
It didn't happen. There's no evidence.
Anyway, she showed that to my dad because he hadn't seen you before, and
what?
so they're probably going to bring it up at Christmas.
Is
Maybe
there
you
gonna
get a
be
block of butter for Christmas?
All right, not going back to your place for Christmas. That's yep. Yikes, not happening. Sorry. You just be grateful that you don't have to see my family for Christmas.
Why? Your mum sounds really nice.
So be grateful that you're not seeing my family for Christmas.
Why?
Just be grateful.
Why? Give me like a reason. Are you worried because they'll listen to this podcast, or?
No. Look, put it this way, all right? They don't call me anything but smoggy when I go back there.
What's a smoggy?
People that live in the city.
So I'll probably get called smoggy as well.
No.
Maybe. I don't know, maybe they'll be nice to me. They'll be a guest.
Well, all I can say is that there's so many of them. At least you don't have to go. Like back in the day, Christmas dinner was like 50 people.
Mm-hmm.
Just be grateful that shit doesn't happen anymore. Because it would not be 50 people. It would be quite a lot more. Because that was 50 people before the aunts and uncles had kids who were cousins. But those cousins now all have 3 kids each.
I have the opposite thing. My family is so small, there's probably going to be a place at the normal dining room table for you.
I'm going to say I'm going to do the quick maths here.
Quick maths.
It would be 12 plus probably 20 cousins times 3. It's probably close to 60 to 80 people would be at
That's
full
horrific
family. And
God.
and so they just set up a giant table outside basically. And just babies, kids, cousins, partners.
My family is me, my parents, my grandmother, my brother, his wife, and their 2 kids. My other brother, who may bring his girlfriend, not sure, then you and me.
Yeah.
Very small.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, they don't do that anymore because obviously when you get like 80 people, put them in the room, people start to dislike each other. So, yes, it's just good. Back in the day, it would be everyone rocks up, they open heaps of presents, then they all go outside, play a bit of cricket, belt each other over the head with some stuff, eat a heap of food, eat a heap of sweets, sleep, play some Nintendo, and go home. That used to be Christmas. And then they would rotate it because obviously all my family's up in Mildura. Well, not even Mildura, some little fucking shithole outside of Mildura. So it's like desert town. Just go out in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking dirt roads. 1 year, and then the other year would go to Horsham, where my other side of the family would be. But that used to be pretty decent because back when I was growing up, they had they were either running like a B&B or they had like a caravan park or like whatever. Whatever scenario you played it in, they had a giant pool. So, and for those not in Australia, it gets fucking hot for Christmas. Like really, really, really hot.
We just stay inside and pump the air conditioning. And if we go outside, there's usually like a sprinkler on, and everyone just drinks beers outside if it's
Yeah,
ever
but how hot does it get there?
Definitely have had some hot ones. I think last year wasn't so bad. I mean, the year before wasn't so bad. Last year it was just me and you here for Christmas.
I mean,
so
my
I haven't been
home
back.
sometimes is 47.
Yeah, fuck that. Good thing we're gonna be down here.
It gets hot, and what was it? The discussion that I had with my mother just yesterday was snakes are out, starting to find snakes everywhere. And apparently the way it's been going down is they'll be like outside or whatever, and the cat will be like, look what I got, and it just have a live snake with it.
So I've had a look at the long calendar, to
Mm.
see what like the long predictions for the weather. So on Melbourne, it's going to be allegedly 20 degrees.
There's no way that they can tell you what the weather's going to be.
They do, these long-term predictions tend to be pretty accurate.
Really?
So yeah, I usually check it in advance, but they do adjust it. But yeah, up to just 20 degrees with a low of 12.
Oh, okay, based on that for Mildura, it's going to be 26 degrees.
All right, well that's not so bad.
It's fun. Look, for all things considered, I'm not a huge fan of Christmas. I just find that Christmases tend to be
Wait, that was last year. Never mind, I could be wrong.
every Christmas is really it's just kind of been like disappointing. I either have to do a lot of traveling or just be very uncomfortable with Christmas in general. Like I haven't had a good Christmas in forever. I think the last Christmas I had was the Christmas in which I got the Game Boy Advance and Golden Sun, and I went down to my auntie's place for Christmas Day, and I sat on the couch pretending to watch cricket, but really played Golden Sun the entire day and went through about 12 AA batteries.
Wow.
So that was probably the last Christmas that I remember enjoying in its entirety. But yeah, lots of awkward Christmases of just doing stuff I don't really want to do.
Ours is everyone just hangs out for a bit, drinks some beers, probably in the kitchen while lunch is being prepared. The women go and help with the lunch usually, or the boys go outside and drink beer.
Yeah, I can already say that I'm
that
going to be
thing.
very uncomfortable, but that's fine. It's Christmas.
Me too. I'm always
Part of
uncomfortable
it.
with my own family.
Let's just not do it. Let's not do Christmas. Christmas
I'm
is
going to
cancelled.
Christmas. Christmas is cancelled last year, so it was just you and me.
And I burnt myself and had a horrible, horrible time.
You forgot that oven mitts exist and that ovens.
I know they exist. I never use them.
Imagine having to eat Christmas dinner while your hand is in a bucket of water.
I didn't have to imagine. It happened.
Yeah, I'm telling the audience to imagine because that happened.
They don't need to imagine it.
No. They probably won't do it. They're not so silly.
Well, just because a man was in the kitchen, all right? You don't need to make a thing of it.
Get out of the fucking kitchen, all right? You'll get shooed out. But you can sit in the dining room, right? And sit on a stool facing the kitchen while I give you food and you drink beer and talk to the
I can't drink beer
because
because I'll be driving probably.
Okay, drink I don't know, water.
Awesome.
Apple juice.
Awesome.
Yeah. But then we go and we have lunch, then we open presents and then hang out for a little bit more and then everyone leaves.
Yeah. I think honestly, in the scale of things, birthdays are horrible and Christmas are horrible. Like they're probably my least two favorite days of the year. I just absolutely disdain.
Well, all right.
Disdain those days. I don't know. No, I'm not the only one. I know plenty of people that feel the same way. They're just like,
you have it extra awkward this Christmas because you have to meet people you've never met before. So
I can tell you right now that all the people that I've met have basically been at Christmas and forced upon.
All right, there you go.
Yeah,
You're ready then.
It's probably part of the reason why I hate Christmas.
Probably.
I don't know. I like the gift giving and stuff like that, but it's always whatever. So
yeah, you excited for your Lynx pack and your socks and your stick of butter?
Definitely. Anyway, yeah, changing the subject on the Christmas. But yeah, it's unfortunately Christmas is right around the corner.
Start shopping if you haven't already. If you need things delivered, it's
just don't shop. Just don't go outside. Stay away. Stay the fuck away.
Make gifts.
Yeah, I don't
know. Get some macaroni and tape it to a plate. And there you go. And you make a face out of it. Macaroni art.
What?
That's what you did as like a kid, right? You stick pasta to like a piece of paper and make art out of it. No? You never did that? You never did that?
Maybe.
It's dry pasta and you just like stick it and you
Did you actually give it to someone for Christmas?
Yeah.
And they liked it?
I was a kid. I was like 5. They have to like it.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, when a child gives you a present,
What's
you say
the
thank you.
worst Christmas present you ever got?
My brother was my Kris Kringle, so my family, because we're poor, we do Kris Kringles, and you don't have to get a gift for everyone. So you have one person to get a gift for. I went all out because I had my grandmother and I bought her a really nice gift. And then my brother's gift was to hand me a card that he'd gotten from my mum because he couldn't get one, and it just wrote "I owe you" in it. Gave it to me empty, and he never gave me anything.
Yeah.
And then we cancelled Kris Kringle for a few years. So this year's the first year back on Kris
Oh.
Kringle. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
But my brother's an asshole, so we'll see.
That's funny because I was going to say the worst present I ever got was an IOU as well. So.
Oh, there you go.
Which was never paid. Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a. I owe you a passport, and I'm like, how can you owe me a passport? And they're like, well, go get one. I'm like,
so that you could leave the country?
I'm like, no, just so I could have a passport. I never went and got one.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, Christmas presents have been kind of hit and miss for me.
Yeah, you take presents very seriously. You're very anxiety inducing to buy gifts for, to be honest.
Yeah, you better buy me the best damn gift you've ever seen.
I literally bought you like hundreds of Pokemon cards and you won't open them.
I don't know what to do with them.
Open them!
No, that's not how Pokemon cards work.
You don't leave them in the packet.
Yeah, you kind of do.
No, you don't.
You kind of do.
This is what I don't understand about Pokemon cards. Apparently, you don't open them.
There's a proper way to open Pokemon cards.
Then learn the proper way and open them.
I just listen. All right.
I don't understand. It sounds so hard.
What do you think I'm meant to do?
Open them.
It's not how Pokemon cards work.
Open them, find a shiny one, and put it in a sleeve.
Oh my god.
Is that not how you meant to do it?
No, not really.
Oh. How are you meant to do it then?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Then how do you know my way is not the right way?
Because I've seen people I've seen people do like unboxing and openings and all that stuff, and then like there's people like you have to do it a particular way. If you're not doing it a particular way,
yeah, I'm going to open Pokemon cards properly, and it's already a result that like obviously been searched before.
I'm not wrong.
Step-by-step guide. What the fuck?
I'm not wrong. Okay.
Start by loosening the back flap of your foil pack. Slide your finger underneath the flap and gently slide it up.
Yeah, you do.
Sounds a bit sexual. Once you've done that, you can hold the back flap with one hand between your finger and your thumb. Oh my god, it's step by step. And then, why should you open your pack differently? Opening a new pack of cards is exciting. You never know what you're going to pull.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pokemon Opening Podcast. We're talking about opening your Pokemon cards. Now, slowly loosen the flaps with your finger on the back, and then also get your Pokemon cards. I'm just saying, all right? You said that I showed an interest in Pokemon cards, so you went and brought me Pokemon cards. My interest was in learning about Pokemon cards. Now I have the Pokemon cards, but I haven't done the learning part. So you got to give me some time, all right? Because the last thing I want to do is be like, check out this Pokemon card, and then I like pull it out and I stick it in the foil thing, and someone's like, that was a $900,000 card that you just ruined, because that would be awkward.
I hate that I'm like in one search. There's so many guides on how.
I told you. Why did you not believe me?
I didn't believe you. How to open?
Not only that, Jelly told you as well. It's like
how to open Pokemon cards with maximum excitement is one of the titles of the video I see here.
That's disgusting. Pokemon cards is a thing. All right, it's a whole thing that has to be done a particular way if you're going to do it. All right. The only other way that we could do it is that we'll have to turn off the power and all the surveillance devices in the house, and open the Pokemon cards and hope that the Poke nerds don't hear about us opening it in a freestyle way. All right? Because they will be distraught.
I opened mine.
Don't say that on a recording.
Plus, I was being
We're going to have to delete this whole podcast.
No, I wore white gloves and I slowly opened my inserting my finger and sliding it down the seam. And
sometimes you got to spit on it.
Oh boy. Anyway, I'm one of those people like I need instant gratification. So if I buy them,
what the fuck are you talking about? Pokemon cards? Or?
Yeah, I have to open them straight away. Like this is my first Pokemon cards in years. I have to open them. So
I look. I want to just no pun intended, but let's put all the cards on the table. All right. My interest in Pokemon cards is the fact that they have the anniversary on at the moment. Something we've talked about in depth on the podcast previously, right? So part of that is they brought back all the OG cards for this collection.
That's why I got you 2 boxes with the
celebrations.
celebrations.
You also got some that aren't celebrations, which, It's
They were
fine.
good value boxes. Your sister told me.
Whatever. What my point is, OG cards, because back in the day, we collected OG cards when they first came out. When I
Yes,
say
that's-
collected, we actually used them to play the trading card game back in the day. So it's a nostalgia factor. My brother had the Charizard, like the Charizard, the very, 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 very expensive Charizard.
I have a Holo Pikachu.
But he used it to play the trading card game and wore it out to the point where it's gone. So I don't know what the shiny Charizard's worth these days, but a lot.
I'll find out. Hang on. Shiny Charizard original price. This one sold for 169,000 euros.
I mean, I can see one on eBay at the moment, a 9.5 first edition Shadowless 1999 Pokemon base Holo Gem Mint, going for 250,000 US.
Yeah. I see one 961,662.
Yeah. So, but that's just whatever. I'm just saying it's a nostalgia factor. One last thing, because I'm aware that we're running low on time, and again, this sort of comes back to TikTok more than anything. They are making more Transformers movies. And
I saw the footage of it being filmed, like
on TikTok, right?
Yeah, of Optimus Prime like rolling down the street. Yeah.
Yep. So Optimus Prime is going back to his old school look for this new movie, as seen in all the leaked footage of. They say it was like they hired an Airbnb, and then literally they just happened to be on the street that they're filming Transformers. So they keep putting up videos of like Optimus and all these cars going past all the time, and it looks sick. Not gonna lie, I actually liked the Bumblebee movie, but it was weird in the sense that for a Transformer fan, it retconned so much shit, like just without notice. Things like how Optimus, like just everything, like how the robots got to the planet to begin with, all the lore and shit that was built in the other movies is like its own standalone movie. Which maybe it was meant to be a standalone movie that comes out and does its own thing. But anyway, I'm excited for the new one. And the way that the reason why I'm thinking about this at the moment is because when the old 1986 movie came out, and then the subsequent the cartoon show that was on at the time as well, when that was out, big fan, by the way, loved me Transformers movie. I'm sure we talked about it before, but I had an OG Optimus Prime with the trailer. Now, if you have an OG Optimus Prime with the trailer in a box, it's something like $4,000 or something he's worth now. That toy.
Yeah, the
I had him.
Toy market is very.
I had him. He definitely wasn't in a box. Not in a box. He's only worth like $500. But also, I got sick of other people playing with my Optimus Prime, so I dug a hole and buried him.
What the fuck?
Because I was a kid, and I don't want my brother playing with Optimus Prime.
You can't have it. I can't either.
Anyway, last year, I was doing some renovations at home, and they dug him up. And I got a message from my mother going, "Look what we found. What the fuck? It was buried." I'm like, I know where I buried it.
Get it. We'll sell it for like $100. There you go.
No, it's buggered. It's worth nothing now, really. You can buy it. There's a toy store in Coburg that has got it. And can buy it. So
the thing with the Transformers toy fandom is people revere non-official vendors as much as they do official vendors. So there's a bunch of like third-party companies who make Transformers toys, and they're extremely popular. My friend Jeslyn is actually a designer for one of these companies and makes and sells like really, really interesting Transformers toys, including this set that actually fold up into a cassette tape. And then they unfold into a little Transformers.
Yeah, like Soundwave.
and like she's created like a bunch of these different ones, and they're selling like crazy. Like she's actually so she has a room in her house near us. Actually, she could see it one day. That is just filled with Transformers.
Yeah, well, I was a big fan of Beast Wars, which is the CGI Transformers as well. And apparently, the Beast Wars stuff is coming to this new movie franchise. It's going to have some Beast Wars tied into it. Not only that. Before DC did their multiverse with The Flash, and before the MCU's doing their multiverse with everything that's going on there at the moment, the Transformers did their own multiverse thing where Optimus Prime and Primal Optimus, what the fuck, the gorilla from Beast Wars, all those guys all got together. They're doing a multiverse. It's a Netflix, I think it's a trilogy of movies, something like that. Can't remember exactly, but they've already done you can watch. There's the new Transformers with Beast Wars multiverse. It's kind of wild, but let's face it, Beast TV shows, Beast Wars, Transformers, the movies, everything. They're all just there to sell toys. So
Yes.
and it works. It fucking works. I saw
remember-
a remote controlled Optimus Prime that can transform and stuff with a remote control. That was sick.
Do you remember Zoids?
Oh yeah, I saw him. I didn't like him.
I loved Zoids. I never got to have any because they were for boys, so I wasn't allowed to have them. But Zoids were like 100% like the coolest toy line that I ever saw growing up, and I was always obsessed with it, and I wanted, and I still want. There's a Zoids that is just a giant elephant, and he's like this robotic elephant, and it's just so cool. 100%. Like if you like toys and like things that are really complex like that, I would suggest looking into Zoids because there's some really impressive designs.
As growing up, and this was like this was the safe bet to buy me as terms of toys. We're now the safe bets to buy me video games. It was you buy me a Transformer, you buy me Mighty Max, or you buy me Street Sharks. All right, they're the three, and that's what you buy me. And then for my brother, he liked the Street Sharks as well, and like something else that he liked. And then my sister was Jurassic Park and dinosaurs.
Jealous. I wanted dinosaurs and stuff, but I got.
And she had like the car from the original Jurassic Park, and what's his name? Sam Neill had Sam Neill action figure.
Oh my god, that's great. I love
Which
that.
is all worth shitloads of money now. So yeah, go figure. Like 90s toys, just that you shouldn't have let the kids play with them because those kids have grown up now and they're buying it with nostalgia money, which is mega money. So
I had Bratz dolls growing up, which are going through a sort of a revival right now. They're very popular on TikTok all of a sudden. That was me. I had Bratz dolls. Always weirded me out how they had different feet that would just like snap on and off the whole foot.
I hate that whole thing.
Why?
I don't know, but I'm learning a lot.
Better than Barbie.
So Barbie for Christmas again.
I liked Monster High dolls, like as an adult. I used to have a collection.
The fuck?
Mm-hmm. Sold them all though. Made good money. I had some first generation dolls.
Who would get dolls as an adult? Looks over at his anime wall.
True. Yeah, you can't judge me. I had like first edition of these like dolls, and I paid like $10 for. Ended up selling them on eBay for like $200 each.
Yeah, I think honestly, like the stuff, like the stuff that I want more now is like retro games. I don't like the retro toy stuff. But like I'm still lacking a Super Nintendo. There's still a fair few Super Nintendo titles I'd kill to have. Same with GameCube. PlayStation stuff's whatever at this point. It's that stuff's like remade and remade and remade over and over again. It sort of defeats the purpose of picking up the PS3 version when there's a PS4 and PS5 version. Looking at you, Skyrim and GTA. It's and fucking Mass Effect. You know what? The more I think about it, there's a lot. Anyway. We should probably wrap up. We're up on time. So it's been good to be back for the podcast. Back to its glory.
Just a me and you podcast.
It's freedom now. So things are happening. And it's also warming up. So things are happening. And also there's Christmas. So things are happening. And also it's a crazy time of year. The amount of games and stuff that are coming out over the next week is insanity, to say the very least. And we are still playing a fair bit of New World, but even New World's insanity, but maybe we'll talk about that a bit next week. We had kind of a wild week. Last week's podcast did really well, even in Belgium. We see you, Belgium. We see you. And so we'll probably come back and sort of explain what's going on with New World because it's interesting, to say the least. But anyway, Shelby, would you like to spruik where you are? You're streaming again? Sort of?
Yeah, you can find me at shellbunny.com. That'll have all my socials, including my stream and my merch.
And you can find... What?
Buy a sticker. I have stickers.
Or just come hang out. Twitch.tv/ZombiesLVBacon. ZLBpodcast on the Twitter. I'm everywhere doing all the stuff. And, like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about the podcast. And hey, look, if you're interested in getting on a podcast, we are always looking to get new people on, new blood, so to speak, new perspective. So hit us up on all the platforms and let's see how we go. Now that we're out of lockdown, how long can a podcast go when people can go outside? I'm sure those cryptocurrency hair bun craft beer podcasts that you're listening to currently are going to continue on out of lockdown, right?
Yeah,
for sure. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you next week on the ZLB podcast. Goodbye.
Bye. Wahoo.
No wahoo.
Wahoo.
No wahoo.
Wahoo.
No wahoo.
Wahoo.
No wahoo.
Wahoo.